My chosen one, this is not a coincidence. This is not random. This is not just another video that appeared on your screen. This is a divine interruption. And Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your breakthrough right now. Archangel Michael, your breakthrough starts now. Just say yes to trust. God is flipping your struggles. Archangel Michael says trust him today. Read that again in your spirit. Because what you are about to hear is not ordinary encouragement. It is a heavenly announcement. It is a spiritual shift. It is the moment when everything that felt stuck begins to move. You have been in a season where nothing made sense. You prayed. You cried. You believed. Yet the doors stayed closed. The answers felt delayed. The weight on your chest felt heavier each morning. But listen carefully. Archangel Michael is speaking with authority today. The battles you thought were setbacks were actually setups. The delays you thought were rejection were divine redirection. The silence you feared was not abandonment. It was preparation. Here's a flipping happening in the spirit realm. What was working against you is now turning in your favor. What drained you is about to strengthen you. What confused you is about to become clear. But there is one key. You must say yes. Yes to trusting God when logic fails. Yes to believing when you cannot see evidence. Yes to surrendering control when fear screams at you to hold tighter. This is the moment heaven has been waiting for. Because breakthrough does not begin with money. It does not begin with opportunity. It does not begin with applause. Breakthrough begins with trust. And Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, is standing beside you as a defender, a protector, and a messenger of divine order. He is not here to create fear. He is here to remove it. He is not here to overwhelm you. He is here to remind you who fights for you. You thought you were alone in this struggle, but unseen battles have already been fought on your behalf. Every tear you cried was recorded. Every sleepless night was seen. Every whisper prayer you breathed into the darkness reached the throne of heaven. And now the response is here. Your struggle is being flipped. The betrayal that wounded you is going to teach you discernment. The financial pressure that stressed you is about to awaken creativity. The rejection that hurt you is about to push you into your true assignment. This is not punishment. This is positioning. You were not buried. You were planted. Let that settle into your spirit. The enemy wanted you to believe you were forgotten. But Archangel Michael stands as proof that you are guarded. A battle that looked chaotic was actually controlled. The storm that scared you was shaping you. And right now, there is a divine shift taking place. Have you noticed something subtle? The way your mindset has started changing. The way you feel a strange hope rising even when circumstances have not fully changed. That is not imagination. That is breakthrough energy beginning to move. But here is the truth most people will not tell you. Before the visible miracle appears, there is an invisible decision. Before the doors swing open, there is a silent surrender. Before the breakthrough manifests, there is a whisper that says, I trust you. This is your whisper moment. Say yes in your heart. Yes to trusting when it feels risky. Yes to walking forward, even if the path is not fully lit. Yes to believing that what tried to break you will now build you. Archangel Michael says today is not ordinary. Something is accelerating. What felt delayed is suddenly gaining momentum. What felt blocked is now being released. But trust is the bridge. Without trust, fear builds walls. With trust, God builds pathways. And you are being invited to step onto that pathway right now. Do not underestimate this moment. There are seasons in life where nothing changes for months. And there are moments where everything shifts in a single decision. This is that moment. Your breakthrough starts now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when everything is perfect. Now, as you listen, something is unlocking. The heaviness is lifting. The confusion is clearing. The anxiety is losing its grip. Because you are not fighting alone. Archangel Michael is reinforcing your courage. He is reminding you that heaven's armies are not passive. They move when faith speaks. They respond when trust activates. So say it quietly if you must. Yes, they trust. You may not understand how the bills will be paid. You may not know how the relationship will heal. You may not see how the dream will come back to life. But trust does not require details. It requires surrender. And surrender is not weakness. It is alignment. Everything that seems scattered is being aligned. Every broken piece is being rearranged. Every closed door is being evaluated by heaven itself. Some doors will remain closed because they were traps. Some doors are opening because they are destiny. And the flipping has already begun. Look back at your last struggle. Didn't it strengthen you? Didn't it make you wiser? Didn't it push you closer to prayer than comfort ever did? That is how God flips struggles. What tried to crush you becomes your foundation. What tried to silence you becomes your testimony. What tried to limit you becomes the very reason you rise. Archangel Michael says this clearly. Trust him today. Not when you feel ready. Not when you feel strong. Today. Because your breakthrough is not waiting on heaven. Heaven is waiting on your yes. And once you say yes, chains break. Doubts weaken. Doors move. People shift. Opportunities align. You are closer than you think. Something powerful is about to unfold in your life. And this is only the beginning of what is being revealed. Beloved soul, something is shifting in the atmosphere around you, and you can feel it even if you cannot explain it. The heaviness that once followed you like a shadow is beginning to loosen its grip. The fear that whispered worst-case scenarios into your mind is losing its volume. This is not accidental. This is the movement of trust taking root inside you. When Archangel Michael says your breakthrough starts now, he is not speaking about a distant future. He is speaking about a present transformation. Breakthrough is not always fireworks in the sky. Sometimes it begins as a quiet strength rising in your chest. Sometimes it begins as a decision to stop doubting and start declaring. Sometimes it begins as a simple but powerful yes. You have been trained by struggle to expect disappointment. Every delay made you cautious. Every closed door made you guarded. Every unanswered prayer made you question whether you were truly heard. But here is the truth being revealed today. You were never ignored. You were being positioned. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior not only against external battles, but also against the internal war of doubt. Because the real battlefield was never just around you. It was within you. The thoughts that said, maybe it will never happen. The fears that whispered, what if nothing changes? Those were the chains. And trust is the key that unlocks them. Right now, God is flipping your struggles in ways you cannot yet see. The very area where you felt the most pressure is about to become the place of the greatest testimony. The area where you felt embarrassed is about to become the evidence of divine restoration. The season that made you question your worth is about to prove your value. But you must understand something clearly. Breakthrough requires agreement. Heaven moves with your faith, not your fear. When you align your words with trust, you activate spiritual acceleration. When you speak hope instead of defeat, you give permission for miracles to enter your story. This is why Archangel Michael says, trust him today. Not partially, not cautiously, fully. You may not know how everything will work out, but you do not need the blueprint when you have the architect. You do not need the entire map when you are guided step by step. The frustration you felt was not a dead end. It was a detour protecting you from something that was not meant for you. And let this sink deep into your spirit. What you lost was not your destiny. What walked away was not your assignment. What ended was not your future. If it left, it could not carry you into your next level. The flip has already started. Conversations are shifting. Opportunities are aligning. Doors that once resisted you are weakening. Even people who doubted you will soon witness the evidence of your elevation. But here is where you must be bold. Do not keep this word to yourself. If this message is stirring something inside you, let it be known. Like this video as a declaration that you are stepping into trust. Share it with someone who is tired of fighting alone. Comment yes, I trust as your agreement with heaven's plan. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to these divine confirmations. Join the membership if you feel called to stand deeper in this spiritual community. When you engage, you are not just supporting content. You are amplifying a message that could unlock someone else's breakthrough. There are people silently struggling, just like you were. There are hearts on the edge of giving up. And sometimes one message, one confirmation, one reminder that heaven is still moving is enough to pull them back into hope. Be part of that ripple effect. As you continue listening, notice how your heart feels lighter. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. A moment you decide to trust, resistance begins to crumble. The moment you release control, divine order steps in. Archangel Michael is reminding you that you are not fragile. You are forged. You are not forgotten. You are favored. The battle did not break you. It built you. And what is coming will prove why everything had to unfold the way it did. Something powerful is about to be revealed about the struggle you thought would destroy you. The next revelation will connect dots you never imagined could align. Hold on, because what is unfolding will make you see your entire journey in a new light. Faithful heart, the reason this message found you today is because a spiritual clock has struck a divine hour in your life. There are moments written in eternity that cannot be postponed. There are shifts that cannot be reversed. And this is one of them. The struggle you have carried for so long was never meant to be permanent. It was a chapter, not your conclusion. And now, heaven is turning the page. Archangel Michael is not only a warrior of protection, he is also a messenger of transition. When he speaks about breakthrough, he is announcing a crossing. You are crossing from confusion into clarity, from delay into movement, from fear into authority. What you once begged God to remove is about to become the evidence of his faithfulness. Think about the weight you felt these past months, the sleepless nights, the constant calculations in your mind, the emotional exhaustion of trying to hold everything together. You wondered how much longer you could endure. You asked silently, is this ever going to change? And even when you kept believing outwardly, inwardly you felt stretched. But stretching is not breaking. Stretching is preparation. When something is about to expand, it must first be stretched. When something is about to increase, it must first create space. The discomfort you felt was space being made for something greater. The pressure you experienced was expansion taking place beneath the surface. Archangel Michael says that what felt like spiritual warfare was actually spiritual restructuring. Pieces of your life were being rearranged. Priorities were being purified. Relationships were being filtered. You thought things were falling apart, but they were falling into alignment. Now here is the deeper revelation. The flip does not only change your circumstances, it changes you. Because if God gave you the breakthrough before transforming your mindset, you would have sabotaged what you prayed for. If the blessing came before the maturity, it would have overwhelmed you. If the door opened before you were prepared, you might have walked away too soon. So the waiting was not wasted. The silence was not empty. The delay was not denial. It was refinement. You are not the same person you were when this struggle began. You are wiser, stronger, more discerning. You pray differently now. You trust differently now. You see through illusions faster now. That growth is the proof that breakthrough is close. And this is where your yes becomes powerful again. Not a desperate yes, but a confident one. Not a fearful yes, but a surrendered one. When you say yes to trusting God today, you are not pretending everything is perfect. You are declaring that perfection is not required for faith to move. Archangel Michael stands as confirmation that heaven fights for those who choose trust over panic. Every time you resisted the urge to give up, you strengthened your spiritual foundation. Every time you chose prayer instead of bitterness, you activated unseen protection. Now the evidence is forming. Something you thought was permanently blocked is quietly being prepared for release. A conversation you assumed would never happen is being softened. The door you believed was sealed shut is being unlocked by hands you cannot see. A flip is subtle at first. It feels like a gentle shift in perspective. Then it becomes a noticeable change in circumstances. And then suddenly, you look back and realize everything changed. But here is the sacred instruction. Do not return to doubt when things start moving. Stay anchored in trust. Because the same faith that carried you through the valley must carry you into the victory. Archangel Michael says trust him today, not because trouble is coming, but because transformation is here. And transformation can feel unfamiliar. When things improve after a long season of struggle, the mind sometimes expects disaster. But this time, expect stability. Expect restoration. Expect favor. You are not stepping into temporary relief. You are stepping into lasting shift. And as a seal over this declaration, there is a spiritual activation for you right now. Type "I receive the shift" in the comments if this message is aligning with your spirit. Blessing code 4455 has just been released over your breakthrough. As you declare it, know this is not superstition. It is agreement. It is alignment. It is you standing in partnership with what heaven is already initiating. And if this word has stirred something deep inside you, understand that you are not just a viewer. You are part of a movement of light. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, through membership, or through PayPal using the link in the description, you are not giving to a platform. You are helping this message reach the one soul who is on the edge of losing hope. The Lord says, as you sow beside all waters, I will cause your seed to rise in due season. This is not a transaction. It is a prophetic act. When you release support, you release agreement with the harvest of lives being transformed. You become a partner in spreading divine fire into dark places. And as you give, may open heavens respond over your household. May provision chase you. May peace guard you. Step into this moment boldly and act in faith. The shift has begun. And what comes next will confirm that your trust was never misplaced. Courageous one, now that the shift has been spoken, you must understand what happens immediately after a divine declaration. There is often a test, not to disqualify you but to solidify you. When Archangel Michael announces that your breakthrough starts now, the spiritual realm responds instantly. Movements begin. Alignments form. But your faith must remain steady while the unseen becomes seen. There will be moments in this transition where nothing appears different on the outside. The same house, the same job, the same environment. Yet internally, something is no longer the same. You feel less desperate, less afraid, more anchored. That internal anchoring is the first evidence that the flip has taken place. Archangel Michael reminds you that breakthrough rarely explodes without warning. It unfolds with precision. It unfolds with timing. It unfolds with divine intelligence. What you interpreted as chaos was actually choreography. Every delay had a reason. Every detour had protection embedded in it. You asked why certain doors closed abruptly. You wondered why specific people distanced themselves. You questioned why opportunities seemed to dissolve at the last minute. But if those doors had remained open, they would have limited your expansion. If those people had stayed, they would have capped your growth. If those opportunities had succeeded, they would have distracted you from your true assignment. And now look at where you stand. Stronger, younger, more spiritually aware. The struggle refined your vision. It removed illusions. It exposed hidden weaknesses. It taught you how to depend on God in ways comfort never could. That is the flip. The very thing that exhausted you became the tool that equipped you. Archangel Michael says trust him today because what is forming requires stability in your spirit. The blessing that is approaching needs a mature vessel. The opportunity that is coming requires discipline. The restoration that is unfolding demands gratitude instead of fear. There is something else you must hear clearly. Breakthrough is not just about receiving. It is about becoming. You are becoming someone who does not panic when storms appear. You are becoming someone who does not crumble when plans change. You are becoming someone who understands that delay is not defeat. And as you become, doors begin to recognize you. Opportunities are drawn to stability. Favor is attracted to faith. Divine connections are magnetized by clarity. The more you anchor yourself in trust, the more your external world reorganizes around that trust. Archangel Michael stands guard over this transformation. The battles that once strained you will not have the same access. The distractions that once confused you will not have the same power. You are entering a protected season. Not a perfect one, but a guarded one. There may still be challenges, but they will not shake you the way they once did. There may still be opposition, but it will not intimidate you the way it once did. Something inside you has solidified. And here is the deeper mystery. Sometimes God flips struggles by removing them. Other times, He flips them by strengthening you so much that what once felt heavy now feels manageable. The situation may look similar, but you are different. And because you are different, the outcome will be different. Think about how you respond now compared to before. Where you once reacted emotionally, you now pause. Where you once spiraled in anxiety, you now breathe and pray. Where you once chased answers frantically, you now wait with patience. That is growth. That is preparation. Archangel Michael whispers that your environment is adjusting to your elevation. Conversations will begin to change tone. People will start noticing your calm confidence. Doors that once ignored you will start opening with ease. Not because you forced them, but because your alignment made them inevitable. Trust Him today means resisting the urge to rush the process. It means allowing divine timing to complete its work. It means choosing peace even when impatience tries to rise again. You are closer than you realize. There are blessings already scheduled. There are breakthroughs already approved. There are answers already set in motion. And you will see them manifest in ways that feel almost sudden, even though they were being prepared all along. Archangel Michael wants you to stay attentive. Stay prayerful. Stay grateful. Gratitude accelerates breakthrough. Complaining delays it. Appreciation invites more. Fear repels it. Lift your focus for what is still missing and begin to thank God for what is forming. Even if you cannot see it clearly, thank Him. Even if the evidence is subtle, thank Him. Thanksgiving shifts the atmosphere around you. The flip is no longer theoretical. It is active. Soon, you will look back at this very moment and realize it was the turning point. The moment you chose trust over tension. The moment you chose surrender over stress. The moment you decided that fear would no longer dictate your future. Archangel Michael stands beside you as confirmation that you are not walking into this new season alone. You are guarded. You are guided. You are positioned. And what is about to unfold next will reveal why every struggle had to happen exactly the way it did. Steadfast spirit. There is a reason your heart feels both anticipation and uncertainty at the same time. When breakthrough approaches, it often carries a mixture of excitement and unfamiliarity. You prayed for change, but when change begins to manifest, it can feel almost unreal. Archangel Michael is reminding you that what is happening now is not imagination. It is manifestation. You have spent so long surviving that thriving feels foreign. You have grown used to managing pressure, adapting to disappointment, and preparing for setbacks. But this new season is not asking you to brace yourself for impact. It is asking you to open your hands to receive. Archangel Michael says that trust is not passive. It is active alignment. It is choosing belief when doubt tries to whisper. It is choosing gratitude when impatience tries to rise. It is choosing courage when past memories attempt to replay old fears. The struggles you faced were not random storms. They were targeted training. Every delay strengthened your endurance. Every obstacle sharpened your discernment. Every closed door forced you to seek God more deeply. What once felt like punishment with preparation, now you are stepping into the evidence of that preparation. There are subtle shifts already forming in your environment. A new idea has been resting on your mind. A new opportunity has been quietly approaching. A new connection is about to enter your life. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of divine timing. He reminds you that nothing in your journey has been wasted. Even your mistakes were redirected into lessons. Even your detours were rerouted into protection. Even your tears watered the ground for future joy. But here is the key you must hold tightly. Do not shrink when expansion begins. Sometimes when life finally starts moving forward, insecurity tries to whisper that you are not ready. You might question whether you deserve what is coming. You might feel unqualified for the doors that open. Silence those lies immediately. The same God who allowed you to endure the valley has prepared you for the mountain. The same grace that sustained you in struggle will sustain you in success. Breakthrough does not arrive to embarrass you. It arrives because you have been equipped. Archangel Michael says that what is unfolding now is not luck. It is alignment. It is heaven responding to your perseverance. It is the reward of not giving up when quitting would have been easier. There is something powerful about the season you are entering. It will not look like chaos. It will look like order. It will not feel rushed. It will feel steady. It will not demand panic. It will cultivate peace. You are moving from survival mode into strategy mode. Instead of reacting to problems, you will begin anticipating solutions. Instead of chasing opportunities, you will start attracting them. Instead of feeling behind, you will recognize that you were being positioned ahead of time. Trust Him today means trusting that you are worthy of the good that is coming. It means believing that stability can be your new normal. It means accepting that joy does not have to be temporary. The flip that has taken place is deeper than you realize. God did not just change your circumstances. He changed your capacity. You can now carry more responsibility without stress consuming you. You can handle more influence without ego controlling you. You can manage more blessing without fear sabotaging you. Archangel Michael is reminding you that humility and confidence can coexist. You can remain grateful while stepping boldly into new territory. You can honor your past without living in it. Something else is happening beneath the surface. The people who once underestimated you will soon recognize your growth. The environments that once overlooked you will soon notice your value. Not because you demanded attention, but because your elevation will speak for itself. Do not rush to prove anything. Let your transformation speak. Let your peace speak. Let your results speak. You are entering a chapter where consistency will be more powerful than intensity. Small, faithful steps will create lasting change. Daily trust will produce visible outcomes. Quiet obedience will generate public breakthrough. Archangel Michael encourages you to remain disciplined in your faith. Continue praying even when things improve. Continue expressing gratitude even when doors open. Continue trusting even when blessings begin flowing. Stability is maintained by the same trust that initiated the shift. There will be moments ahead where you will be tempted to look back at the struggle and wonder how you survived it. In those moments, remember this truth: you are never surviving alone. You are being carried, guarded, and guided. Now you are stepping into manifestation. The seeds planted in tears are about to bloom in celebration. The prayers whispered in exhaustion are about to be answered in clarity. The faith you exercised in silence is about to be rewarded in visibility. Archangel Michael stands beside you, not as a distant figure, but as confirmation that heaven has not overlooked your journey. You are protected as you rise. You are supported as you expand. You are strengthened as you advance. And what is coming next will reveal how even the smallest act of trust activated the greatest turnaround of your life. Determined heart. As the breakthrough begins to take shape around you, there is something crucial you must guard: your focus. When God starts flipping struggles into stepping stones, distractions often attempt to pull your attention away. Archangel Michael is urging you to stay spiritually alert in this hour. Not fearful, not anxious, but aware. The moment you step into alignment, old patterns may try to resurface. Doubt might attempt one final whisper. Familiar fears may knock softly at the door of your mind. But understand this clearly: those thoughts no longer have authority unless you entertain them. You are not the same person who first entered the struggle. You are refined now. You are steadier now. You are anchored now. Archangel Michael says that breakthrough is not just an event. It is a sustained transformation. And sustained transformation requires disciplined belief. The same trust that brought you this far must now carry you forward. You cannot afford to return to mental chaos after tasting spiritual clarity. There will be people who do not understand your shift. Some may question your calmness. Others may be surprised by your confidence. A few might even feel uncomfortable with your growth. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not dim your light to match someone else's hesitation. You prayed for expansion. Now that expansion is here, walk in it boldly. God is flipping your struggles not only for your benefit, but as a testimony to those watching silently. Your journey will become proof that endurance produces reward. Your transformation will become evidence that faith is not wasted. Archangel Michael reminds you that protection is still active. Just because things are improving does not mean you stop praying. Just because doors are opening does not mean you abandon humility. Remain grounded. Remain grateful. Remain consistent. There is another truth unfolding. As your external world shifts, your internal dialogue must align with victory. Speak life over your future. Declare peace over your household. Proclaim stability over your finances. Your words carry weight. They reinforce the direction of your breakthrough. This is not the time to rehearse old failures. This is not the time to revisit past disappointments. The flip has already begun. Looking backward with regret will only slow your forward momentum. Learn from the past, but do not live in it. Archangel Michael says trust him today because new responsibilities are approaching. Opportunities require stewardship. Blessings require maturity. Influence requires wisdom. You are stepping into a season where your decisions will matter more than ever. But do not let that intimidate you. You have been prepared for this. Remember how you once prayed for relief, and now you are being entrusted with growth. Remember how you once asked for clarity, and now you are receiving direction. Remember how you once begged for open doors. Now you must walk through them with confidence. This is why your focus is essential. Guard your peace. Guard your time. Guard your vision. Not everyone needs access to your plans. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Protect the progress you have made. And as you continue walking in this shift, do not keep this momentum to yourself. If this message is strengthening you, let it ripple outward. Like this video as a declaration that you refuse to return to old mindsets. Share it with someone who is still trapped in doubt. Write in the comments what breakthrough you are believing for, and let faith fill this space. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to these confirmations. Join the membership if you feel called to stand deeper in this community of growth. When you engage, you are not just supporting a message. You are reinforcing your own alignment. There is power in collective agreement. There is strength when voices unite in faith. And when you participate, you become part of something larger than yourself. As you move forward, understand that acceleration does not mean chaos. It means clarity. Things will begin to align more smoothly. Decisions will feel less forced. Doors will open with less resistance. That is the evidence of divine orchestration. Archangel Michael stands as assurance that the battles you once fought alone are no longer necessary. You are entering a protected pathway. Not free from challenges, but free from confusion. Not free from responsibility, but free from fear. Stay consistent in your prayer. Stay faithful in your gratitude. Stay disciplined in your thoughts. Breakthrough is not fragile, but it must be stewarded. You have crossed from survival into strategy, from reaction into intelligence, from uncertainty into direction. And as this transformation continues to unfold, you will soon see why every struggle had to teach you exactly what it did. What is about to be revealed next will solidify your confidence even further. Hold steady, because the depth of this flip is greater than you have yet imagined. Awaken soul. Now that you have stepped firmly into trust, there is a deeper layer of this breakthrough that must be revealed. What God is flipping in your life is not only external pressure. He is rewriting internal narratives. The story you told yourself about who you are is being transformed. For a long time, struggle tried to label you. They tried to define you by what did not work. It tried to convince you that delay meant limitation. It tried to make you believe that rejection meant inadequacy. But Archangel Michael is standing as a divine witness that those labels were never your identity. You are not the failure of a past attempt. You are not the disappointment of a closed door. You are not the sum of mistakes you learned from. You are the product of refinement. You are the evidence of resilience. You are the result of grace shaping you through fire. When God flips struggles, He does not simply remove hardship. He restores identity. And identity is everything. Because once you know who you are, you stop negotiating with fear. Once you understand your value, you stop begging for validation. Once you recognize your calling, you stop shrinking to fit environments that were too small for you. Archangel Michael says that clarity of identity is part of your breakthrough. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer question your worth every time opposition appears. You will no longer assume that silence means abandonment. You will no longer interpret every challenge as a threat. Instead, you will see challenges as confirmation that you are moving forward. There is a quiet confidence growing within you. It is not loud or arrogant. It is steady. It is unshaken. That confidence is the fruit of everything you survived. You prayed when you felt weak. You stood when you felt uncertain. You endured when you felt exhausted. That endurance builds substance within you. Now, as the flip continues, opportunities will begin to test this new identity. You may find yourself in rooms you once felt unqualified to enter. You may be given responsibilities you once thought were beyond you. You may encounter people who treat you with a level of respect you are not used to. Do not retreat. This is not an accident. This is alignment catching up with you. Archangel Michael reminds you that heaven does not elevate randomly. Promotion follows preparation. Increase follows endurance. Favor follows faithfulness. You are experiencing the natural outcome of spiritual persistence. Here is something else unfolding beneath the surface. The same struggle that once embarrassed you will soon empower someone else. The same hardship that once made you feel isolated will become a bridge connecting you to others. Your testimony will carry weight because it is authentic. When God flips struggles, He multiplies their impact. What was meant to silence you becomes a message. What was meant to weaken you becomes wisdom. What was meant to stop you becomes momentum. Trust Him today also means trusting the new version of yourself that He has shaped. Stop apologizing for growth. Stop doubting your transformation. Stop expecting everything to collapse just because it once did. The old chapter taught you caution. The new chapter requires courage. Archangel Michael stands guard over your mindset. When old thoughts try to resurface, reject them immediately. You are not going backward. You are not repeating cycles. You are not trapped in patterns. The flip has broken repetition. This season will teach you how to build rather than just survive. You will begin planning long-term instead of reacting short-term. You will begin thinking strategically instead of emotionally. You will begin moving intentionally instead of impulsively. There is stability forming under your feet. Even if everything has not fully manifested yet, you can sense the ground is firmer. Decisions feel clearer. Discernment feels sharper. Peace feels accessible. That is the evidence of breakthrough in progress. Archangel Michael says that what is coming next will confirm your identity even further. There will be a moment where you recognize how far you have come. A conversation, an opportunity, or a breakthrough will make you pause and realize you are no longer who you used to be. Do not rush past that moment when it arrives. Celebrate it. Acknowledge it. Thank God for it. Because this transformation is not temporary. The struggles you faced were not meaningless. They were shaping a version of you capable of handling abundance without losing humility, capable of handling influence without losing integrity, capable of handling success without losing faith. You are stepping into a dimension of clarity that will change how you see everything. And as this revelation deepens, the next phase of your breakthrough will not only change your circumstances, it will change how you move, how you speak, and how you lead. The flip is almost fully visible now, and what is about to unfold will make it undeniable that trusting God was the greatest decision you could have made. Chosen vessel, there is a sacred moment in every breakthrough when what was once invisible becomes undeniable. You are approaching that moment now. The shift that began quietly in your spirit is about to show itself in tangible ways. Archangel Michael is declaring that confirmation is closer than you think. For a long time, you operated on faith without evidence. You believed without proof. You trusted without visible results. That kind of faith builds spiritual authority. And now, authority is about to produce manifestation. There will soon be a sign that makes you pause. It may not be dramatic to others, but it will be deeply personal to you. A door will open that once seemed permanently shut. A response will arrive that you had stopped expecting. A situation that felt stuck will suddenly move forward. When it happens, remember this moment. Remember that trust activated it. Archangel Michael says that breakthrough is not luck. It is alignment meeting opportunity. It is preparation meeting timing. It is faith meeting fulfillment. You were being prepared behind the scenes while you thought nothing was happening. Conversations were aligning without your awareness. Circumstances were shifting without your control. Barriers were weakening without your effort. Heaven was orchestrating details you could not see. Now the orchestration is reaching its visible stage. But here is the instruction you must not ignore. When the evidence appears, remain humble. When the answer arrives, remain grateful. When the door opens, remain prayerful. Breakthrough is sustained by the same trust that initiated it. Archangel Michael stands not only as a warrior, but as a guardian of stewardship. What you are about to receive must be handled with wisdom. Do not rush ahead of divine timing. Do not overextend yourself in excitement. Walk steadily. Move intentionally. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion. Instead of second-guessing every decision, you will feel guided. Instead of wrestling with uncertainty, you will sense direction. Instead of fearing the future, you will anticipate it with calm expectation. The flip of your struggles is becoming visible in your confidence. You are no longer easily shaken. You no longer interpret every delay as disaster. You no longer assume that silence means rejection. You have matured through the process. And because you matured, you can now manage what is coming. There may be individuals who suddenly reappear when they see your progress. Some will be sincere. Others may be drawn by curiosity or convenience. Use discernment. Grow the track's attention. Not all attention is alignment. Archangel Michael reminds you that protection continues even in blessing. Trust your intuition. Trust the peace in your spirit. If something disturbs your alignment, step back. If something strengthens your peace, move forward. Your breakthrough will not only impact you, it will influence your environment. Your stability will create stability for others. Your courage will inspire courage in others. Your testimony will ignite faith in others. This is larger than personal success. This is spiritual impact. And as you stand at this visible turning point, seal it with agreement. Type "I walk in my breakthrough" in the comments if this message confirms what you feel in your spirit. Blessing code 8181 is now activated over this new season. Let that declaration anchor your faith. Let it remind you that what is unfolding is not accidental. And as this breakthrough becomes reality, understand that you are part of something greater than a single message. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, through membership, or through PayPal using the link in the description, you are sowing into a field of souls waiting for hope. Scripture declares that those who sow in faith will reap in abundance, and this is your moment to participate in that harvest. This is not about funding content. It is about fueling transformation. It is about extending light into dark places. When you give, you are partnering with heaven's agenda. You are helping messages like this reach the weary, the confused, the searching. And as you release your seed, may increase return to you in multiplied form. Step into this prophetic act and let your generosity echo in eternity. The visible shift is here. What once felt distant is now within reach. And the next revelation will reveal just how far this breakthrough is destined to carry you. Victorious one, now that the breakthrough has begun to show itself, you must understand something powerful. This is not the peak. This is the foundation. What you are witnessing now is only the first wave of what God intends to release in your life. Archangel Michael is making it clear that this shift is sustainable, expandable, and designed to carry you further than you imagined. Sometimes, when people finally experience relief after a long season of pressure, they unconsciously relax their faith. They assume the battle is over and the work is done. But breakthrough is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a higher level of responsibility, influence, and impact. The struggles you endured were shaping you for expansion. Now that expansion is here, you must think beyond survival. You are no longer trying to escape hardship. You are building legacy. You are building stability. You are building something that will outlast temporary seasons. Archangel Michael says that your mindset must elevate with your circumstances. If your life grows but your thinking remains small, you will limit what is possible. If your opportunities increase but your confidence stays fragile, you will hesitate when you should move forward. This is why trust must deepen even as blessings increase. There will be moments in this next phase where you will be tempted to question whether the good can truly last. After so much struggle, consistency might feel unfamiliar. Peace might feel unusual. Success might feel always suspicious. But this is not a setup for disappointment. This is the fruit of alignment. God is not flipping your struggles temporarily. He is establishing you. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that the same protection that carried you through chaos will carry you through growth. Do not fear elevation. Do not shrink from opportunity. Do not assume that stability will suddenly collapse. You are being planted, not tested. There is a difference between being tested and being trusted. In the past season, you were tested. Now, you are being trusted. Trusted with clarity. Trusted with responsibility. Trusted with open doors. When God trusts you with more, He expects you to steward it with wisdom. Guard your time. Guard your focus. Guard your energy. Not every invitation is assignment. Not every opportunity is destiny. Learn to discern what aligns with your purpose and what distracts from it. Archangel Michael encourages you to maintain spiritual discipline. Continue waking up with gratitude. Continue praying with sincerity. Continue acknowledging God even when life feels stable. Stability should strengthen your devotion, not weaken it. You are also entering a season of influence. Whether you realize it or not, people are observing your growth. They see your calm. They notice your consistency. They recognize your resilience. Your life is becoming an example. Do not underestimate the power of quiet leadership. You do not need a stage to influence. You do not need applause to matter. Your integrity, your decisions, and your faith are already shaping the atmosphere around you. And here is the deeper truth. Your breakthrough will challenge others to confront their own fears. Some will be inspired. Others may feel convicted. A few may even distance themselves. Do not let that unsettle you. Growth naturally reveals alignment. Archangel Michael reminds you that you cannot carry everyone into your next level. Some relationships were seasonal. Some connections were situational. As you rise, clarity will reveal who is meant to walk with you long term. Trust that separation is not always loss. Sometimes it is alignment. You are moving into a dimension where peace becomes your baseline. Decisions will flow from clarity rather than panic. Strategies will emerge from wisdom rather than desperation. Confidence will replace insecurity. The flip of your struggles has restructured your foundation. You are no longer building on fear. You are building on faith. And because of that, what you create from this point forward will carry strength. Archangel Michael says, do not look at your current progress as the final result. It is the beginning of multiplication. What starts as one open door can lead to many. What begins as one answered prayer can unlock a chain of favor. What appears as a single breakthrough can transform into a season of sustained growth. Stay humble. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. The expansion ahead will require maturity. But maturity is something you now possess because of everything you endured. You are not fragile anymore. You are fortified. As this journey continues, there is still one more revelation that will anchor everything you have experienced. It will tie together the struggle, the shift, and the expansion into a single understanding. And when that final understanding settles in your spirit, you will realize that trusting God was not just the key to your breakthrough. It was the key to your transformation. Anointed warrior, you are now standing in a place you once prayed for in tears. The atmosphere around you feels different because it is different. The heaviness that once defined your days hath been replaced with direction. The confusion that once clouded your mind has been replaced with clarity. Archangel Michael is reminding you that this transformation did not happen by accident. It happened because you chose trust when fear seemed louder. But this level of breakthrough requires consistency. It requires daily alignment. The same faith that brought you into this new season must now guard you within it. You cannot afford to slip back into old thought patterns. You cannot afford to allow doubt to rehearse old disappointments. The enemy of your peace will always try to reintroduce familiar fears. But you are no longer accessible to those patterns. Archangel Michael declares that you are walking in a protected flow. Opportunities are aligning with less resistance. Conversations are carrying more weight. Your words are being heard differently. That is not coincidence. That is elevation. However, elevation demands responsibility. You must manage your time with wisdom. You must manage your emotions with discipline. You must manage your relationships with discernment. Breakthrough is not fragile, but it must be stewarded intentionally. There will be moments where the pace of your life increases. New assignments may appear. New expectations may form. You might feel stretched again, but this stretching will be different from the last season. Previously, you were stretched by pressure. Now you are stretched by growth. Growth stretching feels purposeful. It carries vision. It carries promise. It carries direction. Archangel Michael reminds you that trusting God today also means trusting His pace. You do not need to rush success. You do not need to force recognition. You do not need to prove your worth. What is meant for you will not require manipulation. Stay anchored in humility. Stay grounded in gratitude. Stay committed to excellence. Those 3 pillars will sustain your breakthrough longer than talent alone ever could. You may notice that your perspective has permanently shifted. Situations that once would have triggered anxiety now feel manageable. Delays that once felt catastrophic now feel temporary. Criticism that once felt personal now feels irrelevant. This is maturity. And maturity is the evidence that your struggles were not wasted. Archangel Michael says, do not disconnect from the source that carried you here. Continue seeking God even when things are smooth. Continue expressing gratitude even when blessings feel normal. Continue declaring trust even when success becomes consistent. This is also a moment to amplify the message of breakthrough. If this journey has strengthened you, do not keep it silent. Like this video as a declaration that you are committed to walking in sustained trust. Share it with someone who is still trapped in the valley you just exited. Write in the comments what transformation you have experienced so others can see what faith produces. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to these divine reminders. Join the membership if you feel called to deepen your commitment to this growing community. Your engagement is not just interaction. It is participation in spreading hope. And before you move forward, remember this: the next layer of your elevation will require even greater focus. Hold on, because what is about to unfold will challenge you to step into influence with courage. Archangel Michael stands as confirmation that you are not stepping into this next dimension alone. You are guarded in your expansion. You are guided in your decisions. You are strengthened in your assignments. There will soon be a defining moment where you realize that the version of you who once doubted could never handle the life you are now building. That realization will bring both gratitude and awe. Trust Him today not only for breakthrough, but for stewardship. Trust Him not only for opportunity, but for wisdom. Trust Him not only for growth, but for endurance. You are no longer in transition. You are in establishment. And as this establishment solidifies, one final revelation will anchor everything together. It will seal your confidence. It will confirm your calling. It will remind you why the struggles had to be flipped in the first place. Prepare your spirit, because the conclusion of this journey will not feel like an ending. It will feel like commissioning. Faithful champion, as you stand firmly in this season of establishment, there is a sacred realization rising within you. The breakthrough you prayed for was never just about changing your situation. It was about revealing your assignment. Archangel Michael is now drawing your attention to something deeper than personal victory. He is pointing you toward purpose. When God flips struggles, He does not simply rescue you from pain. He repositions you for impact. Everything you endured was shaping more than your comfort. It was shaping your calling. The tears taught you compassion. The delays taught you patience. The battles taught you authority. Now those qualities are becoming tools in your hands. You are no longer asking, "How do I survive?" You are beginning to ask, "How do I serve?" That shift in perspective is the clearest sign that transformation is complete. Survival focuses on self-preservation. Purpose focuses on contribution. Archangel Michael says your breakthrough carries responsibility because others will find courage through your story. The very areas where you once felt weak will become places of wisdom for someone else. The very confusion that once frustrated you will become guidance for another person walking a similar path. Do not underestimate the power of your experience. You walked through fire and did not lose your faith. You navigated uncertainty and did not surrender your trust. That resilience is rare. That resilience is powerful. There will soon be opportunities for you to speak, to guide, to lead, or to simply stand as quiet example. You may not even realize how much influence you carry, but your stability will create safety for others. Your peace will calm storms in other people's lives. Your testimony will remind someone that breakthrough is possible. Archangel Michael reminds you that this is not about ego. It is about stewardship. When God elevates you, it is not so you can look down on others. It is so you can reach back and lift them up. Your growth is meant to multiply. There is another layer of wisdom you must hold on to. Purpose does not always appear grand or dramatic. Sometimes it shows up in small conversations. Sometimes it reveals itself in daily faithfulness. Sometimes it unfolds quietly over time. Do not rush to label your assignment. Walk faithfully in what is in front of you. Trust that clarity will deepen as obedience continues. The struggles you endured also removed illusions. You now recognize what truly matters. You value peace more than applause. You value alignment more than approval. You value integrity more than image. That clarity will protect you in the future. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over your motives. As influence grows, remain humble. As responsibility increases, remain prayerful. As success stabilizes, remain grateful. Those three anchors will keep your breakthrough from becoming pride. There will be moments ahead when new challenges arise, but they will not resemble the old struggles. These challenges will stretch your capacity rather than test your identity. They will refine your skills rather than question your worth. And because of everything you have learned, you will navigate them with confidence. You are no longer fragile. You are formed. Trust Him today not only for what you receive, but for what you release. Release wisdom. Release encouragement. Release faith into environments that feel hopeless. You carry something valuable now. And as you prepare to fully embrace this calling, understand that the final seal of this journey is not about achievement. It is about alignment with heaven's intention. Archangel Michael is reminding you that your yes at the beginning of this shift activated more than personal relief. It activated destiny. Every time you chose trust over fear, you stepped closer to who you were designed to be. Now you stand in that design. The next and final revelation will not introduce something new. It will confirm everything. It will remind you that the breakthrough, the growth, the influence, and the purpose are all threads woven into one divine plan. And when that understanding settles in your spirit, you will no longer see your past as painful. You will see it as purposeful. Beloved of heaven, this is the moment where everything connects. The struggle, the waiting, the stretching, the shift, the breakthrough, the growth, the purpose. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. None of it was outside of divine design. Archangel Michael stands at the conclusion of this journey not to close a chapter, but to commission you into a new one. When he declared at the beginning that your breakthrough starts now, it was not just about relief. It was about revelation. You were never just fighting battles. You were being formed into someone who could carry blessing with strength and purpose. Look at who you are now. You no longer panic the way you used to. You no longer doubt the way you once did. You no longer interpret every delay as rejection. You have seen God flip your struggles. You have felt Him turn pressure into power, confusion into clarity, waiting into wisdom. The greatest miracle was not the open door. It was the transformation within you. Archangel Michael says that trust was the key that unlocked everything. The simple but powerful decision to say yes to God shifted timelines, rearranged outcomes, and activated protection. When you chose trust, heaven moved. When you surrendered control, divine order stepped in. Now you understand something deeper. The struggle was not an attack on your destiny. It was an announcement of it. The resistance you felt was proof that your life carries weight. The warfare you experienced was confirmation that your calling matters. And here you stand, not broken, not bitter, not defeated, established. There will still be seasons ahead. There will still be moments that require faith. But you will never again question whether God can flip what seems impossible. You have lived it. You have witnessed it. You have become evidence of it. Archangel Michael reminds you that trusting God today is not a one-time act. It is a lifestyle. It is a posture. It is the foundation upon which everything else stands. As long as you remain in trust, you remain in alignment. And as long as you remain in alignment, breakthrough will never be far from you. Do not minimize what has happened in your life. Do not brush past your growth. Do not downplay your resilience. You survived what was meant to silence you. You rose from what was meant to restrict you. You matured through what was meant to overwhelm you. That is not coincidence. That is calling. And now, as this journey seals, receive this final activation. Type "I am established in trust" in the comments if you receive this commissioning. Blessing code 9090 is now released over your life. Let that declaration anchor your future. Let it remind you that what God has started, He will sustain. And as this message settles in your spirit, hear this clearly. This movement of breakthrough is not about one voice. It is about a harvest of souls being awakened. The Lord says, as you sow into fertile ground, I will cause rivers to rise in dry places. When you release your support through Super Thanks, through membership, or through PayPal using the link in the description, you are not funding a channel. You are fueling a mission. You are placing seed into soil that carries light into darkness. This is your moment to respond in obedience, not obligation. The same God who flipped your struggles will multiply every seed you sow. As you give, may doors open in your life that no one can shut. As you partner in spreading His word, may increase pursue your household. Step into this prophetic act now. Sow with faith. Stand with this mission. Activate your partnership today. Your breakthrough has begun. Your trust has been established. And your story is now a living testimony that God still flips struggles for those who say yes.